ever felt that with all our modern tech and endless information, we're still wrestling with the exact same problems people have had for centuries? Well, today we're going to see if the solutions might actually be hiding in plain sight, in the wisdom of a philosopher from 2,500 years ago. So let's dive into the life lessons of Confucius.
I mean, that's the big question, right? Because the amazing thing about Confucius's teachings is that they aren't just ancient history. They're like a practical toolkit for navigating the challenges we all face in our lives, right here, right now.
Okay, so before we jump into his ideas, let's get a quick intro. Who exactly was this guy?
So Confucius, or Confuci as he was also known, lived way back in the 5th century BCE. He was a philosopher, an educator, and a politician, and his ideas about ethics, how we treat each other, and justice, well, they literally became the foundation for East Asian thought for thousands of years.
All right, so we're going to start right where Confucius would have, with the mind. Because before you can even think about changing your world, you've got to get your own head on straight.
I mean, does this sound familiar at all? Just think about mindlessly scrolling through your feeds. We've got more information on our fingertips than any other time in history. But does it make us any clearer? A lot of the time, no. It just leads to more confusion. It's like we're drowning in data, but absolutely starving for real wisdom. So what's the first step out of this mess, according to Confucius? And boom, here it is. This is the starting line. It's not about faking it till you make it or pretending you have all the answers. For Confucius, real wisdom, the deep stuff, starts with having the guts to just admit, you know what? I don't know.
So get this. Admitting you don't know something isn't a sign of weakness at all. It's actually the fuel for growth. It's what keeps you curious, what keeps you learning, and maybe most importantly, it stops you from closing your mind to new ideas. This is the real key to getting wise.
Okay, but Confucius was really clear on this next point. Just gobbling up information isn't the end goal. You've actually got to do something with it. There's this super important balance you have to find.
And I love how this is laid out because it shows the two extremes, right? On one side, if you just learn, and never stop to actually think about what it all means, you're just lost. You've got a ton of facts, but zero direction. But on the flip side, if you just sit around thinking and theorizing without actually learning anything new, you're in some serious danger of just floating away from reality. The sweet spot, that place where true wisdom lives, is right in the middle. Okay, so we've worked on our mindset. Awesome. But how does that actually show up in the real world? Let's talk about moving from just thinking to actually doing. How do we put this stuff into practice?
Oh man, we all know that person, right? The one who talks a big game, makes all these grand promises, but when it comes time to actually do the thing, crickets. Their actions just don't match their words. For Confucius, this was a massive failure of character.
And here's the solution he offered. It's so simple, but so powerful. Instead of bragging about what you're gonna do, just be quiet and get it done. Let what you've accomplished do the talking for you. This is all about integrity, right? Making sure your words and your actions are perfectly aligned. So, yeah, the message here is crystal clear. Your real worth isn't in what you say, it's in what you do. Your actions literally become your voice. It's this combo of being humble in your speech and having total integrity in your actions that builds a rock-solid character.
Okay, but let's be real. What happens when we take action and we fall flat on our face? If doing is everything, does that mean failure makes us worthless? Confucius would say absolutely not. He had a really powerful way of looking at this.
This has got to be one of his most famous lines, and for a really good reason. It totally flips the script on how we think about failure. See, the goal isn't to be perfect, to never ever make a mistake. The real glory, the real sign of strength, is being resilient.
I mean, this chart really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The true measure of a person isn't whether they can avoid getting knocked down. It's all about your ability to get back up, dust yourself off, learn from what happened, and just keep moving. Every single stumble is actually a chance to get stronger. All right, let's pivot to another universal challenge. Dealing with difficult people. We all have them in our lives. And what's our first instinct? To judge them, to complain about them, right? Well, Confucius had a completely different, kind of radical idea. Instead of pointing the finger out at them, Confucius says, use that frustrating moment as a mirror. So you see some quality in someone that just drives you nuts. Step 1. Then, step 2, you hit the pause button on your judgment. And here's the crucial part. Step 3, you turn that spotlight inward and ask yourself,
Do I have even a little bit of that in me? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's an incredible tool for building self-awareness. So now that we've got our mind right and we're working on our character, Confucius shows us how all that inner work isn't just for us. It starts to ripple outward, affecting our families, our communities, our entire world. And this is such a powerful idea. For him, a good, healthy society isn't built from the top down with big laws and regulations. Nope, it starts in the home. It starts small. By being honest and respectful with the people closest to you, you're actually laying the bricks for a stronger, more ethical world. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from humility and resilience all the way to social responsibility. But what's it all for? What's the end game? Well, Confucius gives us a simple but truly profound answer for what leads to a fulfilled life.
And here it is. In the end, it's not about what you can get for yourself. Real, lasting, deep happiness, according to Confucius, comes from altruism. It's found in the simple act of helping somebody else. Because that kindness, it helps the person giving it just as much as the person receiving it. So let's wrap it all up. Here's your Confucian toolkit for a better life. It all starts with the humility to know you don't know everything. It's proven by acting with integrity. It gets stronger every time you show resilience when you fail, and ultimately it finds its true meaning when you serve other people.
And that, right there, is the real challenge, isn't it? This isn't just some dusty old philosophy to admire from a distance. It's wisdom that's meant to be lived every single day. So as you go about the rest of your day, just think about it. Which one of these lessons can you put into practice right now?